I'm Chris. I work with the Witness Service. I'm a placement student, third year placement student. I'm currently studying criminology and forensics at the University of Portsmouth, and I'm completing my volunteer placement year with the Witness Service and victim support.
And what sort of stuff do you do in your placement, Chris?
We'll work in the Witness Service, work based at the Antrim office, and also cover Foyle if it's required. With the Witness Service, we meet witnesses beforehand for pre-trial visits. So in court, we would take them into an empty courtroom, show them around the court, and explain the whole process to them. That way, it makes it a little bit easier for them when they come to court. They've been in court before, they know what it's like, and there's a familiar face for them when they're there. So we would meet them for pre-trial visits first of all. Then we would move on the day of the case. We'd meet them in the morning of the case, take them to a secure area within the courtroom, in a witness room. Basically, that keeps them away from the defendants or any of the perhaps family members from the defendant's side as well. And we talk them through the whole process, liaise with the police officers in charge of the case, the public prosecution service and the court staff to ensure that everyone's aware that that witness is there, the needs that they may have, whether that be practical needs or just because they're feeling very nervous on the day of the case. So we would provide support, so someone to talk to, also someone to be between kind of the public prosecution service and the actual victim themselves. So there's someone just to sort of convey maybe information or messages and to act as sort of an independent party in between during the case. So we can't discuss anything with the sort of evidence of the case or anything with the witnesses. However, we are just there to be supportive and to let them know what's coming up next and what to expect from the case.
And what sort of skills do you think you've gained on this placement that will help you in your future career?
It's been fantastic so far. I hope to go into criminal justice. I've been working since August, now the end of August, so quite a few months, and learned so much. There's so many training courses I've been placed on as a placement student and as a volunteer to really sort of build up your skills to deal with witnesses and to provide a better service. Also, basically, working with police and working in court, it really does open your eyes to the criminal justice process as a whole. You get to meet a lot of legal representatives, the police, obviously, court staff, and the public prosecution service. And I think this year really built up a lot of contacts. As I say, I hope to go into criminal justice following my final year next year. And I have a lot of people I've talked to, even volunteers who work with victim support. A lot of them potentially worked in criminal justice and are retired now, or younger people who hope to go into criminal justice, and meeting them and discussing kind of what they've done and what they've experienced. I think that's been really helpful so far this year.
And what's been the high point of your placement to date?
I think there's been quite a few high points. It's always very rewarding when you are with a family or an individual who've been subject to being a victim of crime. When you sit through the whole process with them, you give them a pre-trial visit, you attend court with them on the day, you give them support. You really sort of do become quite attached to people, and you really understand everything they've been through. So whenever you do get the guilty verdict, and maybe 2-3 years since the actual events happened, it really can mean a lot to someone. So there's been quite a few cases where you really do, you meet people and become sort of genuinely friends with them, and you see them maybe 3 or 4 times before they actually come to court, and then at that point, when they do walk out and they've got that guilty verdict, that it really has changed their life, and they're walking out of court, and that's that event. They can hopefully get a little bit of closure and put it behind them. So I've had a lot of people who've been really sort of thankful for that, and I think that's been a really high point this year. So.
And would you recommend a victim support NI placement to other students?
Yes, I definitely would. It's been fantastic. As I say, I've been on so many training courses, and even meeting other volunteers and being in the court setting and working in criminal justice has been absolutely invaluable. Learned so much through the initial core learning, which is done for volunteers. It really sets you up in a good sort of standard to go and do the role. And then every day you just learn so much more about the system and the way it works, and sometimes it can be frustrating, and sometimes it can be really sort of rewarding, but it's just taking each day as it comes.
Thank you.